We have breaking news here on CNN. We have a developing story coming in from Washington, D.C. The Democratic National Convention headquarters building has been broken into. 5 men have been arrested, including James McCord, a former CIA and FBI agent, as well as 4 Cuban exiles. We will now go live to D.C. to the press conference of Frank Willis, the Watergate security guard who alerted the police about the possible break-in.
Mr. Willis, will you please describe what happened last night?
Well, I was making my normal rounds in the building and I noticed that one door was taped open. I removed the tape thinking that the movers had just accidentally left it there and went on with my rounds. But 3 hours later I made my second round and again noticed that the same door was taped open for a second time.
Okay. So what did you do after seeing the door taped open for the second time?
Just following protocol, I contacted the local police to make sure that they would have the building secure.
Alright, thanks.
We're sorry to have to cut that interview short with Mr. Willis, but we've just received news that we have gotten breaking video footage of the break-in at the Watergate complex. We will cut that shortly now.
I mean.
We will now go live to the White House to get a response from President Nixon on this developing story.
Mr. President, there are many reports out there that you are closely connected to the Watergate break-in. Are there any truths to these reports?
We must pursue this investigation of Watergate, even if it leads to me, the President. I'm innocent. You've got to believe me, I'm innocent. If you don't, take my job. But remember, I'm not a crook. Good evening. This is the 37th time I've spoken to you from this office, where so many decisions have been made that have shaped the history of this nation. Each time I have done so to discuss with you some matter that I believe affected the national interest. In all the decisions I have made throughout in my public life, I have always tried to do what was best for the nation. Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt it was my duty to persevere, to make every possible effort to complete the term of office to which you elected me. In the past few days, however, it has become evident to me that I no longer have a strong enough political base in Congress to justify the continuing that effort. As long as there was such a base, I felt strongly that it was necessary to see the constitutional process through its conclusion. That to do so otherwise would be unfaithful to the spirit of that deliberately difficult process and a dangerously destabilizing precedent for the future. But with the disappearance of that base, I now believe that the constitutional purpose has been served, and that there is no longer a need for the process to be prolonged. I would have preferred to carry through to the finish, whatever the personal agony it would have involved, and my family unanimously urged me to do so. But the interests of our nation must always come before any personal considerations. From the discussions I have had with congressional and other leaders, I have concluded that because of the Watergate matter, I might not have the support that the Congress I needed would be necessary to fulfill the obligation in the ways and the interests that the nation would require. I have never been a quitter, To leave this office before my term is completed is adherent to every instinct in my body. But as President, I must put the interests of America first. America needs a full-time president and a full-time Congress, particularly at this time, with the problems we face at home and abroad. To continue to fight through the months ahead with my personal vindication would almost totally absorb the time and attention of both the President and the Congress in a period when our entire focus should be on the great issues of peace abroad and prosperity without inflation at home. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at this hour in this office. As I recall the high hopes for America with which we began this second term, I feel a great sadness that I will not be here in this office working on your behalf to achieve those hopes in the next 2.5 years. But in turning over direction of the government to Vice President Ford, I know, as I told the nation when I nominated him for that office 10 months ago, that the leadership of America will be in good hands. In the passing of office to Vice President, I also do so with a profound sense of the weight of responsibility that will fall on his shoulders tomorrow, and therefore of the understanding, the patience, the cooperation he will need from all Americans. As he assumes the responsibility, he will deserve the help and the support of all of us. As we look to the future, the first essential is to be beginning healing the wounds of the nation, to put the bitterness and the divisions of the recent past behind us, and to rediscover those shared ideas that lie at the heart of our strength and unity as a great and free people. By taking this action, I hope that I will have hastened the start of the process of healing which is so desperately needed in America. I regret deeply any injuries that may have been done in the course of the events that led to this decision. I would say only that if some of my judgments were wrong, and some were wrong, that they were made in what I believed at the time the best interest of the nation. To those who have stood with me during these past difficult months, to my family, my friends, to many others who joined in supporting my cause because they believed it was right, I will be eternally grateful for your support. And to those who have not felt to give me their support, let me say I live with no bitterness towards those who have opposed me, because all of us, in the final analysis, have been concerned with the good of the country. However, judgments might differ, so let us all now join together in the affirming that the common commitment and in helping our new president succeed for the benefit of all Americans. So, I shall leave this office. I shall leave this office with regret as not completing my term, but with the gratitude and privilege of serving as your president for the past 5.5 years. These years have been monumentous time in history of our nation and the world. They have been a time of achievement in which we can all be proud. Achievements that represent the shared efforts of the administration, the Congress, and the people. I pledge to you tonight that as long as I have breath of life in my body, I shall continue in that spirit. I shall continue to work for the great causes to which I have been dedicated throughout my years as congressman, a senator, a vice president, and president. The cause of peace, not just for America, but among all nations, prosperity, justice, and opportunity for all people. There is one clause, above all, to which I have been devoted, and to which I have been devoted, and to which I shall always be devoted for as long as I live. When I first took the oath of office as president 5.5 years ago, I made this sacred commitment to should I keep going after this? To have served in this office is to have felt a very personal sense of kinship with each and every American. In leaving it, I do so with this prayer. May God's grace be with you in all of the days ahead.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast, to be the backlash of somebody's lack of love.
Keep the fire burning, let it keep us warm. The world will keep on turning, let it turn you on. And have a little faith in me, and have a little faith in me, and have a little faith in me.